Yes guys, finally Cosmochoria has hit Steam Early Access, and today we're going to take a look at some of the fundamental game mechanics that this game pretty much employs. And I've been playing this game since the very early alpha, and this game definitely has a learning curve. It's really fun, but it can be pretty difficult at the start if you don't really know what you're doing. So I just thought I'd use some of my experience to just run down some of the things that make this game awesome. In Cosmochoria, you're going to fly around as a naked cosmonaut, and there's going to be three things that you're going to be doing. You're going to be planting seeds, shooting aliens in the faces, and of course exploring a long barren galaxy. Those three things are pretty much just the foundations of the game, and there's a whole lot more to discover. So let's not waste any time and let's just jump in and see what Cosmochoria has to offer. So let's start out with a pea shooter. This is pretty much the beginner weapon of the game, and it's the gun you start out with. It's pretty much your basic starter pistol. It's pretty weak, but it's pretty accurate, so that's the kind of toss-up you get there, I guess. Again, this is the first weapon, so the first thing you probably want to do is gather those crystals using this weapon and then buy something else. Unless you kind of fancy yourself a space bounty hunter, and then you can use this and kind of Han Solo it across the galaxy, I guess. And you'll definitely be a badass if you can get pretty far with this thing. Again, all the guns can be upgraded, but as a starter weapon, this is not the best. I kind of find the best strategy with this is just to kind of jump, dodge, and use your jetpack to kind of hover for a second and get those shots in. That seems to work pretty effectively. But again, that's as far as you're going to get. There's no range on this, there's no spread on this, and it's just going to be pretty accurate, pretty solid, but again, basic starter weapon. Next up is the Space Blaster. Now this thing is actually pretty good to use. It's probably going to be the next weapon that you go to naturally in the order of the weapons that you unlock, simply because it's next in line and it's kind of a rifle, so it's kind of automatic and it's definitely fun to use. This is probably going to be a go-to weapon when you don't really feel like using anything else, and for good reason. It's really fun and it's kind of got that contra spread to it as well, so you can kind of take out enemies at kind of mid-range as well, on the ground, in the air. It kind of works really well when you're kind of using the jetpack through the galaxy as well, because it's got that spread. It's definitely fun to use. And not only that, you can actually upgrade this weapon like all weapons in the game, except the melee weapons. And once you've got this upgraded, it's pretty much a beast. You can get some really good shots in with the upgraded plasma rifle style pea shooter non-gun thing. So yeah, check it out. Next up is the shotgun. Now if you want something that packs a punch, then this is definitely the weapon to go for. I've got a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this thing. I really like its power, obviously. It's really effective at close range, but it's also very, very slow. The good thing about this is though, it's got a bit of a spread on it, and it's got some distance, even though it is a shotgun. So if you kind of do want to fire it off into oncoming aliens, chances are you're probably going to hit them. And because it's got that wide spread, you might hit more than one. So it's kind of good at taking out aerial and ground enemies at the same time. But again, it's very slow, and I don't really like that very much. The reload speed, I guess you can call it, is something to be desired. But if you want something at close range and powerful, then this is definitely something you might consider. But yeah, I think the strategy with this is you kind of just kind of duck behind one side of the planet and maybe jump off. It's really good on the medium-sized planets and the smaller ones because you can kind of do that. You can hide behind the planet from oncoming fire, kind of dodge it by using your thrust and your jump, and then striking out and taking them out with a wide blast. The sniper rifle! Yes, this game has a sniper rifle. Who would have thunk it? In space you've got a sniper rifle, but there it is. Now don't be fooled, it may look like a pistol upon first glance. It's kind of got that one shot to it like the pistol, but this is a lot more powerful. And the best thing about this is it's got distance, something the pistol didn't really have. Now, distance in this game is something that you might not think you need, but it definitely comes in handy. I've been standing on the planet before when the boss comes, and I've been firing off into the distance of the direction of the fireballs, and I've been taking out those bosses, getting headshots and hurting them from a distance, from very far away. So it's definitely got it. And if you can kind of see where the oncoming fire is coming from, you can kind of just aim in that direction, just hope you hit these spaceships, and 50-50, you're probably going to hit them, as long as your accuracy and your aim is on point. But yeah, it's slow but powerful. Obviously not going to get any spread. It does get better with upgrades, you know, just more powerful shots and things like that. But I've got pretty far in the game just by using the sniper rifle, so I'd definitely say check it out, even if it's not quite to your taste. Finally, we have the Illumina sword. That's right, Cosmochoria has a sword. It's the first and only melee weapon in the early access build of Cosmochoria so far, and I've got to say it is awesome. I have a lot of fun using this thing. It's pretty dominant, and it's a lot different from using the guns, you know. It just kind of gives the game a different feel, and it's kind of got this swiping motion which pretty much takes out anything in its path. It's been nerfed a little bit since it got first introduced. It was really powerful before, but it's still really fun to use. Of course it's going to set you back 1,000 diamonds, but I definitely recommend saving up that amount and getting this as soon as possible, just to have some melee combat fun. And it really does set itself apart from all the other weapons in the game, just for the fact that it is a melee weapon. And I find the strategy with this is, you know, you can kind of just go through anything on the ground in this game with this. You know, one left click, you're going to take out anything in your way normally. The enemies will get more difficult and stronger though, so you're going to have to make use of that boost and kind of do some jumping, kind of mid-air kind of swipes with the sword maybe. And not only that, not only can you hit enemies with this thing, you can actually deflect bullets. That's right, if you aim your sword in the path of oncoming lasers, then you're going to deflect them back and take out the enemy, so it's really good for that use as well. A lot of fun to use, definitely pick it up for 1,000 crystals, really love it. And yeah, there it is, the Illumina sword, check it out. So not only does Cosmochoria have a bunch of space weaponry you can use, there's also a bunch of upgrades you can buy from the in-game shop from collecting your crystals across the galaxy. One of the key things to upgrade and purchase is probably going to be the towers. Tower defense is going to be a big part of this game, and without these you probably won't get very far, especially when you get into the later game. There's 4 different types of towers. There's the Pew Pew. This is kind of the Illuminati style tower. It's got the big eye on it. It's kind of like a pyramid. And this thing is going to fire 3 beams of shots in the current build. And this will pretty much take out anything that's coming in close to your planet when you're planting seeds and you don't want to get interrupted. This is pretty much your go-to standard defense weapon. It's pretty much going to take out anything within close range and even at a distance. So this is pretty much the first one you might want to put down if you want some strong defense. The next thing you'll want to look at is probably the Foosh. The Foosh is one of my favourites because it's kind of the best of both. It kind of gives you a laser rifle which kind of takes out any enclosing enemies coming in to take you out, but it's also got a little bit of a shield on it as well, just in case you want that extra bit of protection when it gets a little bit too much. The Foom, this costs 10 seeds rather than crystals that you buy from the in-game shop, so you can pretty much put these down at any point in the game when you've got 10 seeds. If you just want a little bit of protection and you kind of don't have any crystals and you kind of didn't stock up before, you've not found any bricks across the galaxy, then yeah, you might want to put this down and just get that little bit of help when you need it. The Pling, this is pretty much defenseless. It's only good for the shield, but it's a very powerful shield and it's going to protect you from a lot of gunfire. Even bosses' fireballs can't get through this thing. It's going to take a couple of shots to bring it down, so you want to be careful because they can power down, but hiding in them is definitely going to save you, save your ass a few times just in case it gets a bit too much. Another backup weapon that you can take out with you into the galaxy is the Kabloom. You can buy these in the shop just like the bricks for the towers, and this kind of acts like a Contra style vaporizer which takes out any enemies on the screen at once. So if you're ever in like a really bad situation and you're getting swarmed or getting closed in on by a bunch of aliens, then just equip this and you'll take out pretty much all of them at the same time. I think the bosses can't be taken out with this thing, but any of those little enemies on the ground or in the air, they're pretty much going to go down straight away. So definitely worth it if you want that extra bit of protection when you're out there. The upgrade screen. Now this is the thing you're going to see before every game you play, and it's pretty much where you can spend all of your in-game currency, which is like these crystal things that you see here. You get them from fallen enemies and things like that. I think you can also get some of the reward from NPCs in certain situations as well, so you might want to keep your eyes out around the galaxy for random NPCs on planets who might want to help you out. But yeah, as you can see, you've got all these different upgrades and things you can buy. And I've got to say, I'm probably about 10 to 12 hours in, and I've not even fully upgraded my character or bought everything I want to yet. The weapons, they're kind of all individually priced. The sword is going to be 1,000 crystals, and I think the guns are like between about 300 crystals or something like that. But I wanted to touch on these actual in-game upgrades here. These ones on your right, these are going to be the ones that kind of change the way the game plays in a number of ways. You've got the magnet, the coin magnet, that's going to bring those crystals towards you. That's definitely going to be handy. It's one of the first things that I picked up, because otherwise getting those precise kind of trajectory kind of jumps into the crystals can be a bit annoying. So to get them to come to you is definitely a plus. Also, you've got the fertilizer, which is going to plant those seeds a little bit faster. Double crystals. I've only recently just bought this one, and this one will double all of the crystals that you kind of find in the game. Definitely good if you kind of want to, I don't know, maybe spend a lot at once, because you're going to get all the upgrades a lot faster with double crystals enabled. So you might want to get that earlier on. It depends how you want to play the game. One of the very early ones I bought was the one on the end here. This is the cosmic map. You've probably seen this in my in-game videos. It's kind of the map that shows up in the corner of the screen, and you can turn it on or off, but it's definitely handy. It's going to show you where all of the planets are in the galaxy, which ones you've restored and which ones you haven't, the size of them. Definitely handy if you kind of want to explore, and it's probably one of the first things you probably want to upgrade, like I did. And of course, you've also got the space friction. This allows you to press the arrow key down, so you can kind of slow down in space to kind of not fly to the outside and die, which can happen. So you might want to upgrade this. It depends how much exploring you're going to do. This is actually enabled in the early alpha, but now it's an upgrade in the early access build. So if you're going to do a lot of exploring, you're scared of flying to the outskirts and dying a horrible death, then yeah, you might want to upgrade with this one as well. Of course, you've got all of the character upgrades here as well, pretty much all the standard ones you'd expect, just kind of life, fuel, kind of jump ability and speed and things of that nature. So once you've learned all there is to know about the weapons and the upgrades, chances are you're going to learn a whole lot more when you actually go out and explore the galaxy. There's a lot of hidden things and secrets that you probably won't pick up on your first playthrough, second, third, even fourth. I actually didn't know some of the answers to some of the galaxy secrets until like 10 hours or 12 hours in. And that's what makes this game really cool, is that the developer is constantly looking at ways to kind of expand on the universe. And you're going to see signs of that throughout this whole build in early access. You actually start the game with an 8-ball, which gives you hints and tips, but if you want more, you might want to go and find a strange bearded man who's going to be hiding on a planet somewhere, and he's going to help you out. Another key component which is pretty awesome is the pets that are in Cosmochoria. Now, you might have seen these in the description. I've not actually found any in-game after playing it a few times, and that's for good reason. They're pretty well hidden, and it's a pretty good secret about how to get them. I don't want to give it away too much, but if you explore the galaxy long enough, you're going to come across these eggs which have different patterns on them. If you still don't know what to do with them, then my advice to you would be taking to the bearded man, and I'm sure he'll help you out. But yeah, there's some pretty cool effects with the pets. I think there's 5 different ones in this build so far. I think you can get a turtle, a dog, a mini dragon, a robot, all sorts of crazy things which are pretty awesome. And they all have unique abilities too. And they're definitely going to help you out against enemies and other things, and they all have like different characteristics. So yeah, if you want something awesome just to fly around the galaxy with, then I definitely recommend figuring out this secret pretty quick and just seeing what kind of things you can get up to with your pets by your side. Now, these are only a couple of the secrets that are hidden in the galaxy of Cosmochoria, and I don't really want to go into too much depth and spoil them all, but if you keep exploring and just keep on like reviving the planets, you're going to find a whole lot more. And even more so when the updates start rolling out for this game, because after all, this is only in early access. And that's what I really like about this game. It's pretty much the potential of what this game has to offer, because the developers seems to be on board with updating as often as possible and pushing out more content and more in-game features. And I'm really excited to see what some of the future ones are. You can definitely bet that we're going to see some more weapons and see the narrative kind of get played out a little bit too, because there's actually hints of it in the game right now, but it doesn't really go too much in depth. But it's pretty cool to see what could happen in the future. Maybe we'll finally see those weapon parts come together, and maybe we can build an awesome weapon that we don't even know exists yet. But there it is, just a mini guide to the galaxy of Cosmochoria. Hope you enjoyed it and I hope it helped a little bit. Be sure to subscribe for more game videos of Cosmochoria and Let's Plays and things like that. This is definitely a game I'm going to keep on playing and you should probably pick it up if it looks like something you'd like. Hopefully this has helped. But yeah, there it is guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.